Fair enough. Hello, you wonderful humans. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. It means it's time for another Wednesday weekly workshop where you get to ask Drew anything. And we're doing this for the 137th time.
There it is.
I'm Drew. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness. I'm also a clinician with more than 17 years worth of experience, helping people resolve health challenges safely and naturally. And every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I go live to get you answers to all of your questions. But I couldn't do it alone. So I'm joined by the incomparable Two Boots, Lori LeClaire.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
So start chatting in those questions. We'll get you some answers.
Oh, I'm going to turn that on, right?
Thank you.
There we go.
The mood lighting, critical. If this is your first time joining us, we're especially glad that you are here. We want to get all the barriers between our knowledge and our experience and you removed. So whatever question you have, we want to make sure that you have a platform, right now it's YouTube, to ask that question. You can chat in your question. Lori will read it off to me. I'll use our dry erase board that we lovingly refer to as Mr. Doodles to help answer that. If you're not comfortable with having your username associated with your question, we got a solution for you. You go ahead and give us a call. We'll answer the phone, take your question. We'll still get you some answers. We got this big push right now to get more and more followers on Instagram. Because we used to go live on Instagram every Wednesday at 7 with going live on YouTube. Right now, we're about 750 Instagram followers short of being able to go live on Instagram. They want you to have 1,000 followers before you can go live on Instagram. So we're still working towards getting that. So do us a favor. You've got friends and family that are on Instagram. Please share our info with them. The follow means the world to us. Meanwhile, our YouTube subscribership is steadily climbing. Our total number of views is thousands and thousands, past 100,000 total views. This is all going really well. Very excited about the muscle testing playlist that we are adding videos to steadily. So the start of January came with the Muscle Testing Explained workshop. The entire video is available on our YouTube channel. Just so everybody knows, when I keep making this motion when I mention YouTube, it's because our lobby has a TV that plays our YouTube videos on it. So I'm pointing to that TV. We also have different excerpts from that Muscle Testing Explained presentation, little 1 to 4 minute long clips from it. So if you just want like a little piece of that, you can just get like a little taste of it, so to speak. I want to talk to you about what we did this week here at 3D Wellness, and then we're going to jump into whatever questions you got. This week at 3D, I better write down 3D on the board. A lot of vaccine questions. Clients were asking questions about various parts of the country, dealing with mumps and measles, questions about vaccinating, ways to help prevent an outbreak. I'm really glad that we can have that conversation. One size does not fit all. Every situation is not the same. It's a very, very complex topic, and I want us to be able to have a conversation about it. That's the most important thing we can do. Calm versus drowsy. This came up. So this is a really important thing. A lot of the nutrients that I like to use here involve being calmer. And that is different than being drowsy. So a lot of people associate, oh, if I'm calm and relaxed, I'm drowsy, I'm not as sharp as I could be. That's just not how it goes. When we're giving nutrients that help keep you calm, the body is in a state where it can take in information and it's not stressful for it to take in information. That could be when you're driving, that could be when you're working, when you're spending time with your kids, whatever it is. The idea is that you're having a really healthy nervous system response, and that is different than when you're tired or drowsy. Came up because there's a client of mine who's a semi-truck driver, wonderful little human. And they wanted to make sure that the calmative supplement I was recommending wouldn't make them drowsy. Because obviously we wouldn't want a semi-truck driver operating their rig drowsy. Tired and wired. This was something that came up a couple of times this week with different people. A lot of moms, a lot of dads. The tired and wired. They don't have the energy to do a lot of the tasks they know they need to do, but they also feel kind of amped up, kind of keyed up. And that goes back to the calm versus drowsy. We can get your body not feeling wired and not feeling tired. We can get you producing some energy that's different than a stimulant. For a lot of people, caffeine is needed just to get through their day. In these circumstances, what we're looking at is, what can we do that it doesn't involve a stimulant to give you energy so that you don't feel so wired, and so there's no crash at the end of it, which is so common with caffeine. We saw cats, we saw dogs. Don't know if you knew this. For, more than 12 years now, I've been working with cats and dogs and horses. So if you have any nutritional concerns about cats, dogs, or horses, canine, feline, or equine, feel free to ask away. It's something that I have a pretty good dose of experience on. I'm certainly not a veterinarian, certainly not a veterinary tech, but I have a lot of experience working with these animals to nourish them up. And then the presentation series, we saw a little boom in that. We're very excited. Where are my magnets?
Yeah.
We got these really fun magnets made, listing all the presentations we're given here in our classroom at 3D Wellness for the entire year. They're fridge magnets. They're a lot of fun. Oh, it didn't stick. I'm going to try again real quick. There it is.
You go.
Oh, it's even upright. C'est incroyable. That's French. Anyways, really excited about how that's going. We're getting more butts and seats than ever. We got more people on our private Zoom list than ever. If you're interested in getting on that Zoom list or being here for a workshop, let us know. We want to help you make that happen. One more thing before we do questions. We are always looking for fun ways to teach people about new things. Standard Process grows oats on their incredible farm. Their soil has always been organic. They've been cultivating it, thank you, Lori, for more than 80 years. And they grow oats. These are it's oatmeal oats. The biggest difference is when you look at the nutritional breakdown of these oats versus store-bought oats, you're going to see pound for pound, there's more protein in these, there's more B vitamins, there's more minerals in these, there's more fiber in these, and overall there's slightly less carbohydrate. This is a more nutrient-dense oatmeal than anything you're getting at a grocer. And while supplies last, we bought about 15 pounds of it to sample out to people. We got these little compostable, biodegradable cups that we're sending people home with. We got a cup of rolled oats in each one. So you can swing by here, whether it's for a presentation we're giving, a Wednesday weekly, a consult, you need to buy some supplements, whatever. Get yourself some oats to try. They are delicious.
Yes, they are.
That's what we got going on this week.
That's my new breakfast now.
Oh, right on.
Soak those overnight.
Yep.
Ready to warm up in the morning and yum yum.
Now, what protein are you adding to those?
Oh, protein. Do nuts count as protein?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Sometimes I'll put some yogurt in it.
Yep. The collagen mixes in really easily.
Keep in mind, I have coffee before that, and I have a bone broth protein powder that I put in there. So that is kind of coupled.
That's your protein.
Yes.
We're good.
With the collagen, of course, that I add.
It's like another one of our clients does the collagen in the coffee. It does 3 or 4 hard-boiled eggs and then has the oatmeal. Well, the eggs and the collagen hit their protein goal. So the oatmeal, I think they just had cinnamon, maple syrup.
Yep.
Groovin'. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, questions that have rolled in.
Well, we've got one on YouTube here
Love it.
from Rhino Construction.
Nice. Solid construction company, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. All right, the question is, do you have any thoughts on peptides for the use of healing? I've been seeing BPC 157 being in the spotlight.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. All right, peptides. There is a ton of misinformation. Okay. Peptides. Hey, butts and seats. We love it. We don't care when you show up. We just want you to show up. All right. Peptides. A couple of things we got to understand because there's so much misinformation. Peptides are a chain of amino acids. Protein is made of amino acids. So one of the big misinformation that I hear, people are saying, wait a minute, if peptides are just a chain of amino acids, a certain group of amino acids, and I eat adequate protein, don't I already have these peptides? Not necessarily. When you eat a protein, it's broken down into its individual amino acids, and then the body will decide what peptides it wants to make from those. There's no guarantee that it's going to make the equivalent of what Ryan mentioned, which is BPC 157. That's the first thing. So you can have all of the amino acids that make BPC 157, and your body may not actually make that combination. Next thing, you see a lot of ads for oral peptides. And what they're saying is, hey, we know this BPC 157 promotes muscle recovery, helps connective tissue heal. It has anti-inflammatory properties. This thing sounds good, okay? So here it is in a capsule, so it's easy for you to take. Same problem. As soon as these oral peptides hit your stomach acid and your digestive tract, they're going to break apart into their individual amino acids. So if anybody, especially online, is selling you BPC 157 in capsule form, rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. Skip it.
It's not even approved by the FDA.
The capsules?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of things not approved by the FDA that I'm pretty into, though. So
okay,
that's not going to be the bar I try to jump
then it
on.
also says it's a synthetic peptide.
Uh-huh.
This BPC
157.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's synthetic.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we're looking at here is injectable. BPC 157, like I said, wound healing, muscle recovery, joint health, some anti-inflammatory action to it. There's a lot of benefits to it. We got to check quality control because, like everything, now that it's popular, everybody and their mother is trying to get in on it. And there's a lot of lousy peptides going out there. Because we're going to be injecting it, we got to make sure it's really good because it's going straight into our bloodstream. It doesn't go through all the defense of the digestive tract like when we eat something. It doesn't go through all the defense like when we breathe something. And it goes through the hairs in our nose and past the cilia and the mucus and all the stuff. So we really got to make sure it's quality control. I'm not fluent enough in BPC 157 to give you brand names. Sorry that I can't do that for you. But make sure wherever you would be getting it from, that the person you're getting it from can vouch for the quality. Okay? The only people I know using peptides consistently over the last 2 years have done it very sparingly. I like that. I like that it's not a huge amount of that sort of thing. You mentioned the synthetic concern. That's one of my primary drivers of this. As much as possible, I want us to avoid getting synthetic things into our body. This does very much so seem like the future of medicine, though. For a long time, literally 100 years, we've been aware that different peptides made out of amino acids that we get from protein have different properties for things like muscle growth, muscle recovery, wound healing, joint health, etc. And this just seems like a more aggressive way to do all those things. So I don't think it's going anywhere. It is relatively still in its infancy. So I'm encouraging people who are participating in that, talk with your provider and do so, use them sparingly. There you go.
Oh. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Maybe you can understand this. It says, this comes from Scholar,
Okay.
1435. What about DL 185 with MYHB MB.
Don't know that one. I know so the only two injectable peptides that I'm familiar with because I have clients that are using them are BPC 157 and thymosin alpha 1. Thymosin alpha 1 has a lot to do with your immune system and your thymus gland. Those are the only two that I have even a little bit of knowledge about. So I'm sorry that I don't know about that other one.
Okay.
Thanks for asking the question, though.
Okay. All right. I have a question from Mary Ellen.
Right on.
She would like to know more about toe fungus. Like, where does it come from?
Sure. I really wish I had a good yellow marker right now, because that just feels appropriate for the topic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, toe fungus. Almost never a toe problem. This comes up all the time. The part of your body where the symptom is not necessarily where the cause is. How many times were allergy problems fixed by kidney support? Is it like one of my favorite examples? Can't tell you how often sinus cases, chronic sinusitis, chronic sinus infections, congestion, we would give that person kidney support and all of a sudden their sinuses would clear up. Same thing here with the toe fungus. The symptom is presenting on the toe, but the underlying cause, what I have consistently seen here, goes back to the intestines. Here's the analogy that I use. The intestines should be a desert. Fungus is like a polar bear. So here's what I want to set up in your body. Polar bear, huge animal, right? Incredibly strong. Pretty smart too. The biggest, strongest, smartest polar bear in the world that has ever lived would not survive a day in a desert. I want to set up your intestines so they have the right pH balance, the right probiotics or good bacteria, and a healthy mucosal lining, mucus lining, because those three things make your intestines like a desert for a polar bear. It doesn't matter how strong and how nasty it can get. The environment is not suitable for it to sustain itself. Every day of your life, you get exposed to mold and fungus. It is unavoidable in our modern world that we have these structures that we live in and that we work in. There is mold and fungus in the majority of them. There's a lot of reasons there could be mold and fungus. Instead of pretending that we'll never interact with mold or fungus again, what's better to do is set up your body to make sure that its environment does not sustain or support mold and fungus. You do that with pH support, probiotics, and mucosal support. One of my favorites for all things pH, it's going to be Zymex by standard process. When it comes to probiotics, it's going to be ProSynbiotic by standard process. And when it comes to mucus, it's going to be Fengray by standard process. Really simple. You do 2 of each one a day. Can work wonders on toenail fungus. It's also just really great for your intestines, which is where a lot of your mood determining elements come from. It has a lot to do with nutrient absorption, it has a lot to do with your immune system. So just in general, a combo like this that sets up your intestines for their optimal pH, good bacteria, and mucus has a lot of benefits just beyond making sure your toes look good in sandals.
So the question that I come up with in my head is, why the toenail or the toe? Why is it gravitating towards that area? Is it because it's dark and moist that fungus likes that kind of environment?
Yeah, in general, mold and fungus does like dark, warm, and wet.
Okay.
That's why we see that toenails are a common place for it more so than fingernails.
Okay.
That's why we see that yeast infections are a common thing, but nose yeast infections aren't, right? Warm and wet, but not dark.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The other thing is the feet are really far away from the heart, which is the pump. So it's easier for things to get stuck in nooks and crannies there because there's not as much forceful blood flow cleaning that area out. And we're not talking about diabetics or people with, heart congestion or like a weak heart, just in general, because of how far away our feet are from our heart. And when you're standing, gravity isn't doing your feet any favors to get that blood to circle back up and slam back down in there. Those would be the contributing factors why the toe.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Good.
Should there be a heart product there too?
Potentially. Should there be a heart product was the question. Potentially. I want to start with this first because really the amount of fungus that's going to be on a toenail is minuscule compared to what would be harbored inside of the gut. Does that make sense? If we slam this in, let's say we give it 3 months of doing this combo and the nails have no change, then I'm looking at circulatory support. In that case, specific to toenail fungus, my favorite circulatory support, because I've seen it help, is Circuplex by Standard Process. I got great news. It's also 2 a day. This one, I felt really affirmed. During the peak of COVID, the clinic I was working at stayed open. We were seeing clients like nothing had changed. And again, when I would test people who were either COVID positive or had had COVID, kept finding that what was more important to do than lung support was circulatory support. And that kind of confused me. And again, I was muscle testing these people. And again, it was more circulatory support dominant compared to airway support. And just recently, I was reading a study talking about the nature of the virus that causes COVID and how it is a circulatory favoring virus. I was like, oh, that explains why it was testing like that, not just for airway stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
The Circuplex naturally has some antifungal elements to it, aside from being really good for the circulatory system. Yeah.
All right, next question came
Sure.
in from Dana.
Cool.
Can you explain microwaves and how they affect food with as much research as you know?
Okay. Not a ton of research, like official university level research on microwaves that I'm aware of. So I'll start with that caveat. I'll point out some of the things that make me uncomfortable about microwaves. We'll take it from there. All right. First thing I don't like about microwaves, it's inside out heat. The way that microwaves work is if you have a piece of food, let's say this rectangle is a piece of food, inside of it, there are water molecules, H2O. And when the microwaves hit the water molecules, it excites them and they start to vibrate. That creates enough friction, enough movement that all of a sudden things start to heat up from the inside out. That is completely unnatural. For all of human history, when food has been warmed up, it has been done from the outside in. So, apple hanging on a tree branch, sun shines on it, boom, it's getting warmed up from the outside in. You want to cook a steak, you're probably going to want a fire for that. That's going to heat it from the outside in. So the first thing that I have that I don't like about microwaves is that it's heating the food in a completely unnatural way. Second thing, when those water molecules start to get really excited, their basic, I don't know what word I'm looking for. The way our body responds to them changes because of the microwaves affecting them. So it's almost like the food becomes more foreign in its nature to us.
Changes the molecular structure, right?
I don't know if it's the structure.
Okay.
It might be the behavior.
Oh.
And I really don't want to misspeak about those two things because I'm sure the comment section would love to light me up about this.
Okay.
but it changes the way that our body responds to it. So it's an unnatural process, and that's why I want us to avoid it. Last but not least, pretty sure that microwave technology was developed or really furthered by Nazi scientists. And in general, I dislike the work of Nazis. Just kind of like a general thing I say. I don't think they were developing it for the convenience of warming up food. I think they may have had ulterior motives, and I don't want to use that for any application in my life. There you go. That's what I got on microwaves.
They also destroy vitamins.
Yeah, so they'll damage vitamins. Thank you. It's a very unnatural process. It'll hurt good things within the food.
Yeah, you spend a lot of money on food, and then stick it in a microwave is a way of destroying what you just paid for, in essence.
So I want to go over what I do to avoid that.
Yes.
I have an air fryer in my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a standalone unit. It sits on my counter. It's just slightly smaller than a microwave. It's made by, I always want to say osprey, but that's a kind of bird. Oster, O-S-T-E-R.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got 9 different settings on it. You can warm food in it. You can defrost food in it. Yeah, you can bake, you can air fry, all these different settings. And the point is, you can warm up food really quickly without damaging it in one of those. The other thing I do is I have a bunch of different pots that are very small diameter, relatively shallow, maybe 3 inches, 4 inches, and a splash of water in there, put the food in there, cover it so it's a nice contained environment, stir it every 2 or 3 minutes. Might take you 6 minutes to warm something up. The amount of time you spend, 6 minutes versus 2 minutes in the microwave, is worth the value of the nutrient in the food. It's really not a huge time difference.
Yeah.
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 There you go. I love my air fryer. My 10-year-old knows how to use it now too, so this is a brave new world I'm living in.
All right, let's see here. Next one comes from Barb Conrad. All right, any tips on buying a mattress? Heard they have a lot of plastic in them.
Yeah. And we can talk about mattresses. Two T's, two S's, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of different options. The big thing we're going to talk about here is off-gassing. So whenever you buy a new material, whether it is a table, a mattress, flooring, they off-gas different chemicals. There are some that are more common than others, but the big picture is they're off-gassing chemicals. I remember saying this to a client one time about a new car, and her boyfriend was in the room, and he immediately said, "It's not that big a deal." And I said, well, if it's not that big a deal, why did Volvo decide to build the interior of all their vehicles in strictly non-off-gassing materials? Didn't have a response for me. These chemicals, when we breathe them in, they affect us differently than if we just have physical contact with them. Our lungs work very differently than our skin. So my concern with off-gassing chemicals is they are more likely to end up in our bloodstream and travel around compared to if we rub up against something or if you're painting a room and it gets on your skin. It's just a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mattress brand that I really like if you like the memory foam type of mattress. It's called Casper. The reason I like this is because the core of the mattress is encapsulated. Casper as a company is aware that their product off-gasses, so what they've done, the majority of the interior of the mattress, regardless of what size mattress you buy, is encapsulated to prevent the off-gassing. I'm sure that capsule breaks down over time, but at least we aren't getting exposure to this off-gassing all of the time. So the brand that I tend to recommend is this one, because I know they're at least doing something to mitigate the off-gassing of chemicals. Should you have $2,000 to $4,000 to spend on a mattress, you can absolutely find wool mattresses. They are super expensive. Apparently, they are the most comfortable mattresses on the planet, too. I don't have $2,000 to $4,000 to spend on a mattress, so I don't know firsthand. So typically, I'm just recommending the Casper product because I know they're at least doing something to mitigate the off-gassing. It's one of those that gets delivered to you in a box, and you lay it out where it's going to go, and you cut it open, and it unfolds. It's a lot of fun. And even then, they still recommend leave it alone in the room if you can have open windows for 1 or 2 days. I strongly recommend doing that. I really like the idea of leaving it alone for a day or two in the room, having the windows open, letting it off gas. I think that's a really good idea with most building products, whether it's new carpet, new mattress, new furniture, all of that. Let it off gas. If you can leave it in your garage for a few days before you move it into the house, things like that.
So we've got a follow-up question from Dana regarding the microwave question. She wants to know, how is water molecules vibrating in the microwave different from normal heat application?
The rate at which they accelerate to their vibrational state is very different. When you put food with water inside of it on a fire pit or fireplace, that type of heat source, the rate at which the water molecules start to move is a much slower, gradual process compared to a microwave. So think about it like when you're in your car, it's really uncomfortable to be in a car with somebody who drives like a maniac, especially if you're stopped at a red light. As soon as it turns green, they slam on the gas pedal and go as fast as they can. That's the microwave equivalent. I'd much rather be in a vehicle where the light turns green and we gradually accelerate.
Okay.
The answer, Dana, let me know that answers the question.
Okay. All right. Then let's see.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's like, that makes me think about like the initial conception of microwave technology. Was it being developed to do harm? For the most part, I don't want to be involved in any of that stuff. It just feels like bad mojo, like not here for it kind of thing. I know in the first Christopher Nolan Batman movie, Batman Begins, I believe it was called, the weapon that one of the villains in the movie used was a microwave emitter, with the goal being to vaporize the city's water supply. Maybe it's something in that kind of application. It's really weird how Hollywood often mimics life in advance. I dislike that, unless it's like, good news. Other questions coming in.
Yeah, I've got one here. Now, you have created a couple videos lately on how important it is to drink enough water in a day.
Yeah, it's in the basics playlist on our
That's
YouTube
right.
channel. There's a third one coming about water too.
And I want to ask you, it's important that it be pure water. Why is that? Why? What is it about water being pure, not, a Spindrift or tea or coffee or electrolytes? Things mixed in with the water. Why is that?
Yeah, we can talk about that. All right, so water. Just so everybody watching at home knows, I like to write down the topic I'm talking about on the board before I talk about it, because a lot of our clients who come here, there might be a snippet from one of these Wednesday weeklies where I'm like, oh, I just want you to hear what I said about microwave or water, whatever the topic. It's way easier to fast forward through the video and find the spot where I start to talk about water if I write it on the board first.
Yep.
Use that to find whatever topic you're looking for in our videos. All right, water versus a tea or coffee or beer, or all that stuff. Okay. So a lot of these different things can actually be dehydrating. Green tea is really, really good for us. There is a study out of Japan that I read proving that it can help decrease the likelihood of esophageal cancer. That's awesome, because that's a plant that grows outside that you can mix with warm water and sip and help yourself prevent cancer. That's amazing to me. And it still dehydrates you, okay? It's not perfect. Coffee does the same thing, as delicious as it is. Beer, same thing. They're all dehydrating. So you could drink 36 ounces of green tea, but your body's not going to retain as much of the water compared to 36 ounces of water. The water from the tea, it's not going to retain as much. Does that make sense?
Maybe. What is it about the tea again? Then
It has a diuretic effect. The effect of the tea or the coffee, the beer, the alcohol, in some cases certain fruits, they have a diuretic effect. They are encouraging the body to release water.
Even like a spindrift.
Even some spindrift
Because it
have ingredients that will encourage excess release of water from the body.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy.
So spindrift are like a great treat. If you don't know spindrift, it's fizzy water that's sweetened with fruit. Groovy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to do as much for you as just straight water. When we get into the electrolyte conversation, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we start to talk about electrolytes. Not created equal. There are so many junk electrolyte products out there, and they got garbage sweeteners and bad levels of the different minerals that are inside of there. Some of the sweeteners will actually end up bothering your pancreas because your taste buds will get that sweet signal sent to them in such a way that'll fire up your pancreas, but then carbs don't follow it, and you got that thing all riled up for nothing. It's the equivalent of getting ready for a first date and then they cancel on you last minute. Not cool. Certain electrolytes will be less of an issue. I really like the Possible line of electrolytes. That's what we carry here. They don't taste as good as LMNT, but they work dramatically better because they're made out of food. If we're mixing our water with Possible electrolytes, every ounce of that counts towards your daily water intake.
Okay.
So specific to electrolytes, they are not created equal. We got to look brand specific.
What about, so even like warm lemon water, is that dehydrating?
So warm lemon water should not be dehydrating.
Okay.
That would count towards your daily intake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
If it's, sorry, caveat, if it's
Yeah.
fresh lemon.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the same as when you buy that bottle of that super potent lemon juice
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
That's good for stuff like cocktails, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But fresh citrus is much better for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's
So
also controversy with LMNT for this hidden maltodextrin in it.
Oh.
400 grams, ridiculous. Like milligrams.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say 400 grams. We're gonna notice that. That's 80 teaspoons.
I meant no.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
It's not disclosed on the label.
Yeah, I don't like that when brands are. So this came up with standard process. The comment was, there may be things in these products, LMNT was your example, that are not being disclosed on the label. Two Boots, would you do me a favor? The children's immune support from standard process, it's right next to Immuplex. There are a lot of brands that take advantage of the legal loopholes when it comes to labeling things. For example, on certain supplements, thank you. When an ingredient is below a certain percentage or amount, they don't legally have to label it. So this is the children's immune product. This bottle is a custom limited edition. This is a special edition. This is a one of one. It has 2 labels on it. This one costs 5 times as much as it usually does. In the ingredient list, there's some dangerous stuff in here, y'all. There's organic strawberries.
Ooh.
There's organic elderberry. There's organic fiber in organic beets.
Wow.
Gotta be careful. Enough with the sassy part. You get down to some of these other ingredients, and it's got things like vitamin D3 is added to it because it doesn't naturally occur in the foods that standard process puts in this product. They have they have another product that contains vitamin D, and when you get vitamin D from a company that mass produces it, often it'll come with ingredients like sucrose. It'll come with things that are known as dry lubricants that just help the company mass produce the product, whatever it is. Vitamin D is a good example. Its standard process actually labels all of that stuff when it's present inside of their supplements. Legally, they don't have to. Because if the ingredient is below a certain percentage or a certain amount, they are not required by law to label it. I wonder if LMNT is getting that loophole. My preference is companies like Standard Process. They're not the only one that does it. They're just absolutely one that does it. Where they're just telling you everything that's in it. Standard Process does not mass produce their own vitamin D3. They do order it in. If you want vitamin D3, for example, from food, take the Standard Process cod liver oil. That's naturally occurring vitamin D3. It's not spiked with anything. It's just straight from the liver.
Okay.
Yeah. The answer, did that all make sense? Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I imagine with enough maltodextrin added to a product that could start to futz with blood sugar.
Well, that was the whole controversy.
Gotcha. Makes sense in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
What other questions we got?
No other questions. You got a thank you from Barb and a thumbs up from Dana. So job well done.
Doing pretty good then.
Yes.
Thanks, gang.
Mm-hmm.
All right. February 14th is Valentine's Day. If you don't have a sweetie, I'm going to strongly encourage you to come to the workshop we're holding that day, because then at least you can just hang out with some good people. We're talking women's health.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 25 or 24 I presented women's health here? Jeez.
Ooh,
Might have been back in 24.
maybe.
Well, anyways, first time I presented women's health here at 3D Wellness, I really went over some anatomical stuff, talking about the basic functions of different organs like the uterus, breast tissue, ovaries, etc. Different things to support their functioning. And then I went into some more generalized things that everybody has, like thyroid and liver, not just lady specific, but how the thyroid and liver influence female reproductive organs. I'm going to do a little bit of that, but I'm also going to tease you right now. Forgive me. I'm going to go over the 3 things that I most commonly see negatively affect women's hormones. They are really simple things. They are in our environment. Sometimes it's even things that we are doing to ourselves, that ladies are doing to themselves. So Saturday, February 14th, that's a week from now? Week and a half from now?
Yep.
Jeez.
That's not the right calendar,
was
but
gonna
it's
say
the
it's January.
14th at 10 a.m. right here.
February 14th, Saturday, 10 a.m.,
Yes.
right here in the 3D Wellness classroom. Speaking of Spindrift, we're going to have Spindrift if anybody wants some. And I'm always sampling something around here. There's always something I feel like you could try or have. Sometimes it's like a snack bar or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the following Thursday, the 3rd Thursday of the month,
19th?
the 19th,
Uh,
would you refresh my mind? What is the topic?
the spring challenges.
Oh, this is good. So last year I did autumn challenges where I got to go over things that commonly happen when the weather shifts from summer weather to autumn. Now we're talking what happens when we shift from winter into spring. And in Wisconsin, that is a 3-month period. So I'll go over all the different challenges that come up. But sincerely, the Spring Challenges Workshop goes over things like allergies, goes over things like getting your body back into a state where it's willing to burn fat. A lot of people don't know this. Your body intentionally retains fat during cold weather months. It's a survival mechanism. Fat is an insulator. It does not want, your body does not want to get cold. Second fun fact, this will be in the winter challenges. So set your calendars for November 19th of this year. Geez, it is handy that I have this little magnet here to tell me. I suppose I could have looked at what workshop is next on there too.
It's okay, you got me.
Sure do. The Winter Challenges Workshop goes over things you can do to promote muscle growth in cold weather, because muscle is a better insulator than fat. And if you develop enough muscle tissue, your body will be less inclined to develop fat tissue during winter. I think I'm about to see a lot of you in November. Any other questions, Roland?
No.
Cool.
No.
I'm going to use Levi. That's the guitar.
Yep.
to
Indy's
play
on
some.
vacation.
Yeah, Indy's still getting tuned up. I'm excited to see Indy again. I miss Indy.
Yeah.
It's a great guitar. Levi is too. I don't have any bad guitars.
No, you don't.
All right, y'all. I have that same recording saved from however long ago. I'm gonna use my handy dandy looper pedal to play out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. See you next week, everybody.